I am not the stuff of fatherhood. An ex-stripper, ballet dancer, car runner, drug dealer, convicted felon, and most recently, unemployed actor and hardened dreamer. I'm the poster boy for the anti-father. And I've always sort of loved that about myself.
I'm Geezer. I'm old. I moved down to Toronto when I was 6. I grew up in all that like white supremacy shit, where it was just like that's how white people grew up. It's like, National Geographic with naked Negroes and those grass huts
And the what grass skirts and shit.
yeah, and then you have those movies with the ooga booga people going ooga booga and boiling
Bone
white
and
people
nose?
in pots and shit.
Bone and nose stuff.
The bone and nose, like the cartoons. But that started breaking up with black nationalism, the civil rights movement. You had Cassius Clay changing his name to Muhammad Ali, which fucked people up. And I hated his ass. Because, like, all the little white kids, I don't know what their parents were saying, but they were all like, yeah, oh, there's only one, so let's kick it. Like, I got my ass fucking kicked, And then mid to late 60s hit with Black is Beautiful. And all of a sudden, it went from, ew, to, oh my God, hi, you're a Negro. Like, I was
Negroes
popular.
are trendy, right?
Yeah, so it was
OMG,
popular.
Look at your hair. Can I touch it?
Yeah, all that shit. I started getting laid. It was, yeah, okay. Anyways, all that shit just, it hardened me. I was constantly compensating for feelings of inferiority. I ended up in Amsterdam in 78, where I ended up flat broke, but with lots of drugs. And got involved with some international drug dealers. And we had a chillum. It's just like this pipe, hash pipe thing.
I don't know where this is going.
3 hours. We had it going for 3 hours. It was like zipped out of my head, right? I was already paranoid walking in there. And this guy and his buddy started talking like multi-million-dollar drug deals in like the 70s. So I'm ramping this up with all the other shit that's going on, and I'm like trying to calm down. I'm like, so this is really dangerous. And he's like, yeah, it's dangerous. I'm like, so, shit could happen. He's like, yeah, shit could happen. Like, oh, so I could die, right? He's like, yeah, you could. And I'm like, I'm out.
So you got involved with these guys then?
Yeah. We were running cars from various locations in Europe, selling them in Istanbul, and going to Afghanistan, and flying the drugs back to Amsterdam. And I got busted in Switzerland. They threw me in a cell, and I was almost hysterical, in tears, but also laughter. Because this was, I had grown up in this gray zone of confusion, of identity, with just not knowing who I was. And this was a stark black and white experience that I would either succeed at or fail at. And it was all on me, right? So, prison for me was a challenge to find myself and my strength.
Yeah, right. Fuck going to through backpacking in Europe or going to India or something to find yourself. Just go to fucking prison.
There are aspects of prison that aren't necessarily positive.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Anyways, so this kid came in. I had already been in for a year, and I was still waiting for trial, so I assumed I was going to get a 5-year sentence. So this kid got busted. He had broken a window or something and got caught with a gram of hash. And he was all boohoo, and he's crying and all this shit. And it's like, motherfucker, you're going to do 2 weeks. And you're going to be out. Shut the fuck up. Stop. And he stopped. And then we went on the walk, and I came back. He was gone. And the guards told me they found him hanging off the hanging from the bars by his shoelaces. And I thought it was funny. Right? I laughed my head off. But that's what I had become. Right? And well, and I'm explaining to this like so that this is your father. This is your father, and I know there are times when I'm not the most empathetic person in the world. Yeah. Okay.
We both know that.
Emotions are hard for me.
Yeah, no shit.
Emotions are hard for me because they lead to. And that's fucking. I got it in 1980, and it still messes with me. So I'm just saying, there's reasons. Okay.
No, stop.
Okay.
Stop. This.
Okay. I had been studying ballet to develop a jazz technique at Les Ballet Jazz. There was an advertisement for male house dancers at the Bermuda Tavern. This was like, whoa, male stripper? Like, this is totally, I can practice my dance on stage and I can find out whether I'm sexy. Male dancers, Bermuda Tavern. Hey, fuck yeah. Let's get my ass naked in front of women and see what they say. I always remember this one woman, like, Beaverwood's lumber. Ew, Beaverwood's lumber.
Beaverwood's lumber.
I did find out I was attractive. I had a shit ton of sex. To the point where I became really disgusted with sex. So sex became like a performance sport. I popped the baby oil and sat down on this cube. And it was like a fucking line of women that came up. Not one of them looked me in the eye. All right? Not one. And I give them the bottle, baby oil, and they're like... and half a bottle of baby oil ended up on my cock. And I'm just looking down like... hello, am I here? I'm not here. They're just all rubbing baby oil into my cock. So it's like, shit like that kind of twists you around sex.
Yeah, makes sense. Jesus.
It's kind of like, and trust issues with like all that shit. Just
yeah, that would fuck you up. I can see it.
Yeah. So, eventually got out of that. Started acting. Then realized I got tired of being the digits for someone else's mind, and started making a film which featured you.
Don't touch me.
You in it? Okay, well, fuck you. Called Esther, Baby and Me.
There are no words. She's defined my future with her first breath of existence.
You are one of the best things that's ever happened in my life.
I'm one of the best things that's ever happened in my life, too.
Why don't you choke on your own... Now, you know I love you.
I love you, too.
Okay. And that's my journey.
You were a shitty father, but you know what? After everything you've come through, you could have been a lot worse. And I'm still alive, so congrats on your not as quite as awful as you could have been award. I'm still traumatized, but you know what? I could be dead or an alcoholic, so.
Yeah. Okay, but the last thing I want to say is, I'm at that age, and I'm going to be 63 in July, and I'm feeling all of this start to collapse, right? And I'm on my way out. Like, I can feel that process, as everything starts to... And the thing about that is that I'm happy. I know, and I have a great example. My father, we talked my father out of his body. Esther and my mother, my sister and I. My father died of pancreas cancer. And I was at an audition, and it was a physical improv company. And we were doing this dance improv thing, and I just lost it. And all of a sudden I was in tears on the ground, and I can't do this, I'm sorry. I had to leave the audition, and I got a call from my mother saying, Dad's dying. Or my sister saying, Dad's dying, you got to come to the hospital. So we went to the hospital, and he was a lizard. He was, all brain functions had shut down, and he was just writhing in pain. And the nurse came and said, well, we could keep him alive, but he's pretty much gone, or we could, we can end it. And I told my mom, it's time. He's done. And he was a monster. He was the most important thing in my life. Up till then, he was an amazing man. And we all got into a circle. He was taken off, life support. And we got into a circle. Held hands around him, and I talked him out of his body. We love you. You can go. You can go. You can let go. And he did. And there was a death rattle. And it was fucking beautiful. He went with love. And how many people get that opportunity, to go with love? He went out the way a human being that's loved should go out. Yeah? This is the cap. You deserve this love. Yeah? And as fucked up as a father, because he had his problems, man. He had alcohol issues and all that shit, violence issues, all that shit. I know that when I go, I'm going to go loved. And that's so important to me. That I did well enough